Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to Bedroom Noise. I'm excited to be here tonight. Trying to hopefully no technical difficulties tonight. You know what? Let me put the chat on. Let me remember how to do that. Put the chat on so we can see the chat tonight. Got a little music in the background for us. Okay. I'm gonna give it a little more time for some more to come in. Get YouTube up. YouTube up. Okay, I got both of them up now. Just going to give a little more time to see if some people will come in for Bedroom Noise on this Thursday evening. Let me get Facebook up just in case. I should have went live on both. Let me see. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to see something. My guests will be in. Okay, I see a comment. Let me see if I can see it. How do I see it? Hold on. You guys, I'm still working this out. I don't even know how I came to be involved in this project here. But guess what? We here and we are here. Here we go on Facebook. I swear I had all this together. I promise you guys. Welcome to Bedroom Noise. We're going to get started. I'll figure out this in a minute. Just wanted to get on Facebook real fast so I can see comments. There we go. There we go. I can't see comments. Am I on? Okay, I got some people. I see some people. Okay, so welcome to Bedroom Noise. It's Thursday. I know you could be somewhere, but you chose to be here with me, so I'm excited about that. Thank you so much. My co-host will be on shortly. He's running a little late, but he will be on shortly. But what I want to do is just spend this time with you really fast and just say thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for believing in this. I had so many people to thank because I was just doing this just to do it. And I mean, all the support and love I've been receiving, it's just been amazing. I've been offered studios. I've been offered, I'll help you with your mics. I help you with this. I help you with that. And I'm really, really thankful and very appreciative for all the love and support that I have been given. Feel free in the chat to use the pink bow emojis. That's my emoji for my podcast for Bedroom Noise, the pink bow emoji. So if you're there, you want to let me know that you're here, although I can't figure out where these comments are right now. But if you are on and you want to just show me that you're here, put a pink bow in the chat. That would be great. And I also want the chat, if you want to get active, get busy in the chat, please do. More participation, get involved. If you don't like something I'm saying, or you disagree, or you have something else you want to add, just let me know. And I will. You can come up here on the stage. We do threesomes and foursomes up here, so you're more than welcome to come on and come and talk about it. So I'm just giving a little bit more time. I'm trying to see. Bode, I see you. You're sending me a message, but I don't know how to see it. Oh, I think I see it. Oh, I think I see it. I'm not for sure why Facebook is not. Can you tell me? Can you see me on Facebook? Because I think I'm here. Okay. Great. So now I can see the chat. I think. Oh no, this is an old one. I'm silly. Silly me. Let me see if I can find the real one. I don't know why I'm not on. Maybe I should just go live. Just gonna go live. Facebook. That makes sense. Well, anyway, I'm hoping I can see comments tonight because I would really love to interact tonight with everyone. And this is an old one, so I'm not able to do that. Let's see. Oh, I think I am on live. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's working, you guys. I am so sorry. I am trying to figure this out. And I'm also stalling for time. My co-host is a little late. So, but I wanted to spend this time. And I said, don't worry about it. I will spend this time giving thanks to everybody who has joined me, who was my day one, because this is my third episode or podcast. And, so I want to say thank you. And then for the ones who are returning, the ones who return, and the new people, the new family, I call my friends who've joined us. I want to say thank you for coming and joining us tonight. Again, I'm not a podcaster. I just thought of an idea to come and talk about relationships because I jump on other people's podcasts all the time. I'm asked to come speak on others' platforms, whether it's live or online, and I wait around so I can jump in because relationships is my passion. I really, really love relationships. We have relationships. Oops, sorry. For someone to invite me to when I just start a podcast myself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not here to, I'm not a therapist or anything like that. I just want to say if I can help one marriage, if I can help one relationship, repair one relationship, help another relationship, someone to just say, I saw something tonight that's going to want us to make us want to stay in this relationship or fight a little bit harder. That's fine with me. That's my goal. And so I'm fine with that. If nothing else happens, that would be just fine for me. So I welcome you to Bedroom Noise. And again, I'm waiting for my co-host and I'm hoping that, thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. Brooks, I'm going to do a double live. Are you speaking about, I'm going to do a part 2 of this live? Is that what you're saying? Cyrus, I'm able to see the comments. I'm super excited. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming back and the new friends that's joined us tonight. I'm going to give a few more times. He said he's almost there. If not, I'm just going to start and then he can just jump on in when he comes. But I am going to do a part 2 of this. I'm probably going to do a part 2 of this this podcast because it's a lot to uncover. Bode, hey, Mr. Rogers. Excited you guys are here. Okay. And if there's something that you want to talk about, feel free to jump in. And tonight, please don't be shy. Like I said, if I'm saying something you don't like, or you saying something that you want to add to it, or you want to let me see it in a different way, please just let me know. I don't have all the answers. And I'll share this too, that I'm going to be speaking for majority of the women, not all the women. And I think a little different than some women anyway. So some women don't always like my thinking. Um, so I'm speaking for some women, and my male guest will be speaking for the male perspective. Excuse me, but he's not speaking for everyone, every male. So if you're a male and you disagree what he's saying or you want to add to it, please feel free to do that. This podcast is just to bring awareness, for us to grow together, for us to learn together, for us to walk away trying our best to hear each other out. I would love for this to be a safe place for people to come and be able to share everything as much as you want to share, of course, but for you to share what you want and feel safe to say it. I want the women to be able to listen to what the men are saying, and for the men to also hear and feel what the women are saying, because you guys don't always feel what we are saying, if you know what I mean. And women, we don't always listen to what men are saying. I want to trust and believe men know exactly what they need and want, and I want the men to know that women really truly believe and know what they want as well. So we have to listen to each other so we can stop figuring it out and just get it right. So, that's our little slogan over here. Let's not figure it out. Let's get it right. Right. So that's what this is about. I hear so many times men are saying, and women, he didn't hear me, or she doesn't hear what I'm saying, or I'm not going to say it, because women want the truth. But then when we give them the truth, they don't accept the truth. And so I want it to be where we can still we can still disagree with each other, but we're doing it in a way that we are being respectful, and everybody get to, at the end of the day, and like I think in any relationship, at the end of the day, you walk away feeling heard, not right. We don't have to be winners here, right? We don't have to take the gold medal home or anything like that, but we have to feel like we've been heard. And when a person feels like they've been heard, a lot of things can happen. So yeah, that's the goal here. I'm trolling for Queen. Brooks, I need you to not do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Um Brooks is always, he's trolling tonight. You can come up on stage too if you feel like it. Um later, because you start too much trouble. We don't want you to be starting the trouble too early in the podcast. Goodness. But yes, let me see how much longer he's going to be. And then if he's going to be too much more longer, a little bit longer, then I'm just going to start. I'm going to introduce the topic, let you guys, and we're just going to start. Let me see if I can call him. I'm gonna have you guys listen. Can you stand when people late? How they late to everything? Goodness gracious, just late. I was a little late too today. I'm gonna text him on my iPad. And Brooks, behave yourself in here tonight, please. Please, please, please. Okay. I'm going to see if he responds to me, and if he doesn't respond, he was driving. He is a busy man, and I kind of knew he may be a little late, but now it's 8:20, and so we're gonna have to get started. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to welcome my friends. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Bedroom Noise, a grown and sexy, intimate relationship chatter podcast with your very own Jameka Necole. And then this week's co-host, his name is Deezy. Let's get undressed together and let's chat about it. Undress simply means to be emotionally vulnerable, completely exposed, dropping your guard, and stripping of your defenses. The goal of Bedroom Noise is to restore, repair, rebuild, and reconnect love and relationships through active listening, emotional regulation, radical empathy. Sorry, guys. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry, the things are happening. Hopefully you can see me. Did I lose you guys? I'm so sorry. I believe it or not, I put this phone on do not disturb and I'm still getting disturbed. I may have to come back out, you guys, when the phone does that. I may have to come back out. If I do, please come back if I lose you. I'm going to try to fix the camera. Little technical difficulties. Can someone tell me if you're able to see the picture in the camera? Because on my side, I don't see a picture anymore. Can someone put it in the chat for me? Because I kind of have the chat up. I don't know why this is happening tonight. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, sorry about that. So the goal of Bedroom Noise is to restore, repair, rebuild, and reconnect love and relationship through active listening, emotional regulation, radical empathy, and curiosity over judgment. And that's the biggest part, curiosity over judgment. I want us to start getting curious. Stop assuming and believe that because we're grown and we know everything. I want us to start being like 5-year-old kids and just start getting curious and ask the questions. Why are you trying to hurt my feelings? Did you mean to do that? Things like that. I think those things are at least allow you to have some conversations and communicate with your partners and stuff. So we're going to do this through active listening, emotional regulation, radical empathy, and curiosity over judgment. I said that. We will explore emotional intimacy, physical and sexual intimacy, experimental intimacy, and intellectual intimacy. Bedroom Noise is not a place where we're going to have soft and dry conversations. We're not going to do that. We're not trying to figure things out over here. We are going to have wet and hard conversations with the goal to get it right. That's the focus. If you like to come and share your opinions, your comments, your advice, please let me know. I can bring you up and we can have a threesome or even a foursome up here. So just let me know and I'll send you the link and you can come join us up on stage tonight. Also, feel free to get busy in the chat. Normally the chat is where it's at anyway. Normally all the podcasts I'll be on, they're real fun in the chat. So get busy in the chat as well. This podcast is only for the mature audience. Okay. And then when my co-host come up, I'll introduce him. But our topic tonight, we're going to explore, does internet pimping lead to relay relationships? I'm going to define what internet pimping is. And I'm also going to define what relay relationships are. And I'm saying that only because sometimes in relationships we're talking together, but I'm talking about one thing and my partner or the other person is talking about something else. So we want to be able to always be on the same we want to always be able to know that we're talking about the same thing. Sorry. So we want to make sure. So I'm going to define that. So we'll make sure that we are talking about the same thing and not somewhere else. So we can have a clear conversation. Okay. So I'm going to just check the chat a little bit. Hi, sister. Hey, Mr. Pope Banks. Thank you guys for joining me. I am so appreciative. And like I said earlier, before some of you came on, I thank you so much for everybody that tipped and gave me all kind of tips and things. The first podcast, when I brought the Brooks on, the co-host for that week, our pictures got all messed up and everything. So I'm learning as I'm going here. But again, I just hope you listen to the message more than anything. I'm not a public speaker. I'm not even a podcaster. It's just something I just wanted to do because I would just love to bring one relationship together, repair one, restore one, and reconnect one. If I can do that, then I will be fulfilled. So this is what this is about. It's my passion. Anyone that knows me knows I love, love, love relationships. I do. I do. I do. So thank you. Um, so yes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't know how much longer, and I don't want to mess my phone up by calling yet because wait, I am on. Oh yeah. I don't want to call because I'm scared that I'm going to mess my phone up. I have him just jump on his. I'm gonna just have him jump on. You guys gonna hear the conversation. You're part of my. You're my friends. You get to hear my conversation. I'm calling him now. Like Nick, boy, where you, man, where you at? Of course, he's not answering. Okay, you guys. Please leave your message. I got sent a voicemail. Jeez. Okay, and hopefully I don't have a problem. I know how to get him up here when he does come up here.
Hello?
You could just jump on while you're in the car.
Okay, cool then, because I'm about to be at the house in like 3 minutes. I'm on the road going to my house.
Okay, you want to just jump on? Because I didn't want to, I was going to introduce the topic, but I want to just do it when you come on, so.
Okay, all right. You on there now, right?
I am, and they hear you.
They hear me? Okay, all right, cool. I'm gonna click the link. I'm be at the house for like 3 minutes, but I'm gonna click on the link now.
Okay, just in case I need some time to figure it out.
All right, cool.
Okay,
I'm clicking on the link right now.
Okay, thanks. Bye. How does an internet pimp get paid? Well, it's happening. It's happening. It's all. I think people get very creative in how this is happening these days too. So, it is happening. Silly. Get paid in lots of ways. Okay, so he's going to click on. He's almost home, but he's going to just click on while he's driving, so we can get this party started. Bedroom Noise. A grown and sexy, intimate relationship chatter podcast with your very own girl, Jameka Necole. This week is going to be co-host. Oh, there he is. Hold on. I'm going to add him to the stage, guys. Oh, it's dark, but it's okay.
I'm going to be there in about 3 minutes. How is everybody doing?
You said 3 minutes, 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, it'll be about 2 minutes now. We're going to be down about 120 seconds.
Okay, well, I'll introduce you while you're driving, and then when you come on. So this is Deezy, everyone. He's going to join us tonight. He's our this week's co-host. Deezy has a podcast himself. It's called SBGB TV. It's on all platforms. I've been blessed and given the privilege to speak on his platform several times. So when he speaks about relationships and other things as well, but when he speaks about relationships, he gives me the opportunity to come on. He knows I'm very, very passionate. He doesn't always agree with me, and I don't always agree with him. But he knows I'm very passionate. So sometimes he just lets me go when I get into my real passionate state of mind. He just lets me go, and I know he's probably rolling his eyes at me and stuff when I'm talking. I don't know, but huh?
You do a good job, though.
I do a good job. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do a great job, and you're very, interactive with it, and you have your own opinion. I love that.
I have my own opinion, and it'd be strong opinion too, right? I get a little strong about it. So yeah, so he will be joining us. Tonight we are going to cover: does internet pimping lead to relay relationships? And what I mean by internet pimping. Okay, so let me back up a little bit and just share. The internet, social media has allowed billions of people to communicate, to collaborate, and to share information instantly. Like a drop of a dime, you can get information sent out, right? So there's been positive impacts for that. So the positive impacts are like global accessibility, collaboration, and education, and community building. So that's great. The negative impact has been social isolation, surface level relationships, polarization, and misinformation. So we have, so it's, with anything, it's always some good and some bad with it. So I just want to explain that. Yes. Before so that those are the positive and negative of this internet social media. Deezy, before I start, I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
Are you willing and able to get undressed and chat about it with us tonight?
Of course. I'm taking everything off.
Okay. Okay.
As
So,
long as you don't mind, I'm taking everything off. I'm ready to chat.
okay. Well, let's take it off because that's what we do here. We take it off. We talk about it. We don't want to have any guards up because we don't get to learn when we do that. No one gets to learn, and this podcast, I don't want us to do like the little fluffy talk stuff. I want us to really dive in it and really get into it and really solve things. I want to solve things together. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're not going to do fluffy talk here. So you have to be willing to get undressed. You have to be willing. Oh my gosh, I see the comments. This is amazing.
Okay.
Oh my God, sorry. It be the small things for me. I swear, just be the small things for me. So I'm going to define internet pimping for the purpose of this conversation, so we're all on the same page. So with the access of people, millions of people these days, we can. He's home. You going to the studio?
Not ready to arm.
I'm here. Okay.
You gonna go in the studio?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Sir.
I'm here.
You come on in the studio.
Yes.
It's always the black people.
I know, ain't it? Hey, listen, you gotta love the black people. They just, so different.
They just, oh my gosh, always the black. But I appreciate you, right? I appreciate your time, and I know you busy.
No, I appreciate you. It was just, the timing. We on now, though.
We on. Okay, you guys. So that's Mr. Deezy. And he said he's willing and able to get undressed with us tonight and chat about it.
Yeah.
So I explained internet, what the positive and the negative. Now I want to explain what internet pimping is. So with all these million and billions of people, everybody can get to each other real fast. I can meet someone in my own state, and I can meet someone in someone else's state, or I can meet someone in a whole nother country, right? There's just so many different people out. At the drop of a dime, I can meet anybody I want to meet, really, right? I have all this reach to everyone. So we have the IG models, we have the ballers, we have our DMs. Our DMs are loaded, right? We have people that are just hitting us. You see somebody you like, you just hit them in the DM, whether you married, not married, whatever. You see somebody, you just hit them in the DM, right? They have pokes, they have comments, you have OnlyFans, you have the hookup, you have people flying people in, you have all these transactions going on. You have there's just so many people. So that's what I call internet pimping, right? So internet pimping is just people are willing and dealing, trying to get in where they fit in, sort of say, right? And then the relationships are these short-term commitments, short-term relationships, the ghosting, the staying connected to someone and then for a short period of time, maybe like 6 months, and then moving and doing something else, moving from one relationship to another relationship. Like it's just all these different kind of things that are happening. That's what I call a relay relationship. You just jump in and move in, and I believe, and I'm wondering, is it because we have all this internet pimping going on? You know, is that the reason? What's the reason for this happening?
I think it's because a lot of people are on social media and it's a lot of, options. But it's a lot of options, but it's not a lot of options because I feel like a lot of people on the internet are playing a lot of games.
Hmm.
So you might think that you got options because you're able to access a lot of people, but at the same time, you know, people are really not taking things as serious because they
Okay.
have so many different people that they can a lot of games being played, whereas
Hmm.
though, people are doing things to satisfy themselves and they're not really thinking about the other person.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great point. You know, so do you? So you're saying the same thing that you're saying? Are you hearing or seeing that they're just like back in the day before internet? Do you think is more like shorter relationships happening, like versus now where, if I don't like you, you said you may say something I don't like, and so therefore I have another option. I can go somewhere else and talk to someone else.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of shorter relationships because of the people thinking that if something don't go their way, that they can find somebody else to comfort them. And then a lot of people, they have other people that they already communicate with on
Mm-hmm.
social media. So, if things are not going well with one person, they'll go ahead and communicate with the other person more often because they already been talking to that person and it's easy for them to disconnect because they have different, you know, um, cordial relationships with other people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So is that, do you think that's a problem? Like, what do you think? Like, is that something
I
is that
think
gonna,
that it can be a problem, but it's preference. Some people, deal with multiple people for their mental stability. Whereas though when you put all your eggs into one basket, you could be disappointed by someone. Whereas though
mm-hmm,
you might really be, really into someone and they might not have the same, type of, feeling that you have. And then you could be disappointed because they're not as interested in you as you are in them. And some people just, got their guard up. I think, it's too much, social media things going on. So people have their guard up because it's easy for one to be hurt because there's so many people that you can contact. Whereas though, back in the day, you would have to go outside to meet
mm-hmm.
people. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the bar, you got to go, to the library or wherever you want to go to meet somebody. But now it's just you just open your phone up and start scrolling and then you can message someone and a lot of people are looking for connections. They got dating groups, sites and different things and people are looking for connections and it's easy to connect, whereas though because there's some people that are really trying to meet new people.
Yeah. So I see in the chat that no one wants to waste 10 years with one person anymore. And then the internet has helped unattractive women the most.
Yeah, I mean, the internet has definitely done, a doozy to relationships and to people's mental because,
Mm-hmm.
like just being honest, women get a lot of attention on the internet. When you on here and you looking good, and you look beautiful yourself, when you on
Mm-hmm.
here looking good, you get a lot of attention from a different from different men.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I really feel like being as though that women get so much attention from different men, they think that, their options with the other people that are giving them attention are going to satisfy them if it don't go right with someone. You might be just be having a miscommunication, a misunderstanding, and they might think that, oh, this other person that's been trying to talk to them is going to satisfy what this person can't. And you really don't know because you haven't spent that time with that person. And then you might take yourself and try to deal with this person, and then you see they really not what you want.
And that's why I want to talk about this, because I feel like that people are connecting with people, but they're not going through the whole they're not fully going through a process, because there's just so many people at their fingertips that they can just dismiss one person and 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 move on to the next person, even though that person may be their person. We're all looking for our person. I want that person. So you can have that person, but that person can make a mistake or something, or do something wrong. And because we have all these people we can reach out to, we're just moving on. And that's what I call the
Yeah.
relay relationships.
And it's a lot of people that are doing that, because some people will tell you, man, I got options,
Yeah.
and they like, yo, I can do this and I can do that. And, I got this person waiting and that person waiting. And some people, they got their options set up whereas though they have certain people that do certain things. This person I have, I go out on dates. This
Mm-hmm.
person I talk to on the phone. This person I like to do this with. This person
Mm-hmm.
I can call for advice. So, some people set up their options whereas though it benefits them and satisfies them mentally all the way around the board.
So is that men or women, or is it both?
I think it's both.
Both.
I think it's both. Men do the same thing. Women just get more attention. Because guys are chasing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But then that's the thing, and that's kind of like dangerous as well too, because guys are chasing, and you just don't know what guy is who he says he is, or what guy is really about his business. So you get some guys that'll sell you a dream, and they get to saying some things that captivate your mind and get you feeling them because of the things that they say and the way they speak. But then they get next to you and you like, I really don't even like this guy. You get to hanging out with him, you don't even like being around him, but they're able to sell you this dream. So, and I think it goes for women too. You got some women that'll tell you, they're the best ever and they're going to do this and they do that. They clean, they cook, and, they treat their man good. And then you get around them and you like, you didn't make dinner yet? You didn't do this? You didn't do anything? Oh,
And the
well,
floor and the floors are
I'm
dirty.
tired. Yeah, I'm tired. I worked all day. Hold on, but you told me you do all these things and these were the things I was expecting. And now I don't get these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think it can go both ways. It's just different situations, but I think it goes both ways.
Okay. Okay. I get that. Okay. So yeah, so these days, so we're not getting the relationships like grandma, what would you say, grandpa, and
No.
we're not having that.
Negative.
Mm,
Negative. That
mm,
that right there, it doesn't exist because of social media. Social media has changed all of that. It's too many, people that you can encounter. And I feel like people don't value, one another the same because it's so quick to, well, I'm gonna go do this. If you don't like what somebody's saying to you, well, I'm gonna just go do this. So I don't think the value is there because a lot of people are experiencing different things. But I think with people that have experienced certain things, they tend to be a little more settled than the ones that haven't, because this social media situation, when you be able to encounter so many people, they have certain people like hyped up because they can access this person and that
and
person
yeah.
and they can do what they want. So it's like, man, I'm gonna get loose right now, but not understanding that the people that you probably getting loose with really don't care about you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I speak about that whole quality over quantity, or quantity over quality. So there's many, but what's the quality of, you might have your DMs may be flooded, but is it flooded with quality, or is it just flooded? Right? Because there's a difference. And so,
Guys is DMing like every day, all day. When you're a woman, you getting DMs every day, all day, and but a lot of the times, majority of the guys in your DM, they only want to sleep with you. So, do they really care about you? You know what I mean? Do they really like you? Nah, but it's up to you if you want to be entertaining that.
Yeah. Do they really, are they really trying to find out who you are? Or are they just seeing something that they're trying to, you're just another person, another good morning person on the list, you know?
Yeah, but then also, to be fair, a guy could be in your DM
Hmm.
and have intentions on sleeping with you and sleep with you and fall in love with you.
Yeah.
So it could go either way, but that's the risk you take. And a lot of times you're gonna have to take a lot of risks to find that. It's not like you might just get that on the first go around.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to play with it to fill it out, but it could happen though.
Mm. So you could find your love on the internet.
I think you can. I think you can find your love on the internet. Honestly, I think because you get to see different personalities. And some people they get like stuck in their city. I think when you get stuck in your city, it's like the same type of people in your city, and you get used to a certain type of approach. You get used to a certain type of behavior, a pattern of people. So, I think you can find love on the internet because you're getting to meet different people
Yeah.
and you don't know what you're going to like. You might really like this person from across the world.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying though, that because you are able to meet someone in another state or even another country. So that just opens it up even more and it can complicate even things more. So now I have more people. I don't have just the people in my own state trying to talk to me or my own city. I have people in other cities, other states, other countries, like everybody, like everybody's trying to holler
Yeah, all over the world.
everywhere. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, and it's like you got to be a good choice of judgment. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, and if you're not good at it, I'm be real, a lot of women do not have a good choice of judgment. They pick, you know, what the guy is selling them instead of doing more observing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? If a guy can sell you something good, whereas though he can talk good, women fall for that. Being honest, not every woman, but women fall for it. And when they fall for it, they fall in love with the person was selling them. And then when they get to meet this person for who he really is, they stuck on what they were sold, and they wonder why they stuck with this guy. And they saying, well, they love him because their feelings got involved, and then they're stuck with something that they really didn't get to observe and see who they were, and things could be bad.
Yeah, I talk about slowing things down. I think in life, we should if we slow everything down, majority of
Mm-hmm.
things, I think we can slow down. We slow it down, we can not only hear what he's saying, but we can also, and or her, because this is both genders here. We can hear what the other person is saying, and we can also see how they're walking. I always say talking and walking. I need to see how you talking and how you walking, right? One thing I like to I always share with my sister. She said, man, she came to me. She's like, I've been messing with this guy and he comes over here every day. We hang out every day, all this, right? Like he's there all the time. They talk all the time. And then she says, but he talking about we not together. I said, you not. And she was all mad at me. I said, you're not. He never said it. A guy and a female, until you say it, until you communicate it, till you put it on the table, it's just what that is. I told her, I said, he just comes over every day. He just hangs out with you every day. You guys just do X, Y, and Z together every day. That doesn't mean anything. So I think sometimes we're reading messages, we're reading things into, we're reading, no one has said what it is, and we're just assuming and hoping and thinking and whatever else is going on in our head, but no one's had the conversation. So how can you say this is what it is? It just looks that way, but it doesn't mean it's that way.
Yeah,
You just have a person that's just
and then you can fall in love with that,
you
and
can,
then
and you do fall in love with, yeah, you can fall in love with that, yeah. And
yeah,
then you crying and mad and upset, and
bingo.
who's at fault?
Um, you can't fault the other person that didn't specify that they were in a relationship. They were
Mhm.
being nice and showing you a good time. So you really can't fault the other person. You got to fault yourself for not getting clarity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't put that on somebody else and be like, yo, it's their fault. Now you got to really look in the mirror like, nah, I didn't get clarity. And maybe you was all right with that,
Yeah.
because some people are all right with it, but then they start worrying about how other people judge them. They
Mm-hmm.
start looking at the people on the outside saying, well, this person ain't doing this. But if that relationship, whereas though it was good for you and you enjoyed it and y'all had a good time, and y'all do everything well, when you start looking at other people's judgment, sometimes that'll damage a situation too, because things might have been all good. It's just that you didn't have that title.
Right, right. But also too, I think as much as when you start spending time with people, things change too. You may be okay in the beginning, what it is, but then the more time you spend with someone, you things change, especially for a woman. I'm gonna speak for the women. Men maybe not, I don't know. But for the women, things start to change a little bit. Like I was okay with this setup, you know 3 month for the first 3 months, and now I'm feeling some kind of way. And now, so what's going on here? And so I think, like anything, I'm always going to talk on this podcast about always evaluating your situation, whatever it is. You want to always continue to and not that you have to evaluate it with the other individual, but within yourself. Okay, what's going on here? I'm feeling this. Something is going on here. And if you need to back up, redirect, and pivot, go a different way, then that's what you have to do. But we don't. We stay there hoping and thinking, oh, he's going to feel this way or she's going to feel this way. Let me just stay right here. And then you have expectations, and that's when everybody get hurt, and we want to smash the windows in the car out. Oh, sorry.
I, I think it could be the same way for men too. I think
Okay.
men could feel some type of way after a while, because when you deal with somebody for so long, especially when you close, you really grow on each other.
You
So when
do.
you start
Yeah.
growing on each other, and especially if y'all have a good time together, there's no
Mm-hmm.
friction,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing for you to look at that person negatively. You start growing on each other. So it could go the same way for a man too. And I really think, it's good to have the communication, because when you don't have the communication and you have, a good relationship with somebody and it starts growing on the other person, it'll damage the relationship, because now one is moving a certain way and addressing you a certain way because they feel some type of way about something that they haven't been, upfront with you to address how they feel. So they
Yeah.
hold it in, but they're dealing with you a certain way, but they really want to express to you that they might want to go further. They don't
Mm-hmm.
like how this is going. And, we've been doing this and we've been doing that. And, why won't we take it to this level? So it could cause strain on a relationship too, because one could be like, man, I'm tired of dealing with it that way. I want it to be more, and this person's not, being receptive to what I'm trying to show them. And,
Mm-hmm.
it could really like, damage the relationship as well. And then I really feel like when it does damage the relationship like that, there's never no fixing it. It's like when one person starts feeling some type of way, it's like the mind doesn't revert back to how it was when y'all was cool. It always takes it somewhere else.
And that's where you and I disagree in at.
Okay, talk to
I
me.
no, I think you can always, you can fix it. I think anything is fixable. I believe
You think
anything is
so?
flexible. Absolutely, I believe anything is. But you know what? It takes work, and not everybody's willing to do the work. And it takes, and so if you're not willing to do the work, then, and both people have to do the work. But you can fix anything. The worst
So you
situation in
really
the
think
world.
that you can fix if you catch your partner cheating?
Yes.
You think
Yes.
so?
Yes.
How do
Yes.
you ever get that out of your head if you catch your partner cheating? It's like, I really think that can't be fixed. You can suppress that. I really feel like you can suppress that, but it can't be fixed, because you're always going to think about that. Even if you try to block it out for a short period of time, it's always going to be in your mind when you look at that person, And as a man, you're going to visualize the things that your woman has done. So that there, I don't think that it can be fixed. You can suppress it and try to, act like it ain't there, but I don't think you can fix it.
Yeah, I think you can fix it. I think that that well, you have to understand men and women. I'm gonna speak for majority of the women. Women, we've done that before. Are you able to see the chat?
Yeah, I got it on my other phone.
Okay, cool. We're gonna talk to the chat too in a second. But
Okay.
women, we do it all. We have done it several times before. You know, some doing it right now probably. So yes, women can do it for
Yeah,
sure.
maybe women, but
Yeah,
not for men. I
yeah.
don't. I don't think a man, can really process it right. It's like you got to be a particular type of guy. You really. It's not. It's not broad. Because all men can't handle that. You get to think about it. Now you can suppress it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there before. You feel what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Where, someone has cheated and I tried to suppress it. And, I'm thinking about it periodically. And then I'm looking at the person and I'm visualizing and I'm like, I really can't handle this. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I'm like trying to do certain things to make the relationship totally, separate because I really can't accept the things that this person has done because I'm thinking about what you've done with me. You know what I'm saying? And my mind is gonna go to you did all this with me. When you meet somebody that you get excited with, you gonna go there with them too.
And that's not always true for women, but that's probably another topic. That
Okay. Well, I think
women don't
it's kind
women
of
don't women don't always get down the way they would get down with their like men. You guys do the same thing. Let me.
no,
I won't go.
that's incorrect.
I won't even go there tonight.
No, that's incorrect.
No,
That's incorrect.
you what? However you get down with Shaquita, you getting down with Sally and Mary and Felicia too. You don't
No,
switch it up. You gonna keep the same game because you want.
that's incorrect. I gotta disagree with you there because I'm gonna tell you like this, right? With certain guys, they're gonna do certain things with certain women that makes them feel good. Like when it comes to as a speaking from a man like myself, when it comes to like giving a woman all right, a guy like myself is gonna do it because I want to do it. I'm not doing it for you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm doing it for me. So I'm not gonna get with every woman I meet and automatically I want to go down and do that to them. So that's why I disagree with that. I'm gonna do it for me. It's exciting me. You turn me on for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with that.
You don't agree? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what we do here. I want to hear. I just I've heard men say they don't change it up. They keep it kind of the same for I do this. I'm doing it to with everybody the same way. Because if you feel like you're good at something, you don't just share it with the special girl. You gonna do the jump off the same way. You're gonna do the mistress the same way. You're gonna do all the same people the same way. But
Okay, I mean, well, that was somebody telling you from, their point of view, because everybody has their own point of view, but I don't think that's for all guys. You know what I'm saying?
no.
Because some women, guys might just like doing certain things with them. You know what I mean? It's just this right here because it takes them out of a certain type of space. And then they don't want to go do the certain things that they're gonna do with the other woman. It just takes them somewhere else dealing with that woman. So it could be for some men, but
Mm,
some men it couldn't be.
okay. Okay. Let me see
Yeah.
what the chat talking about.
Okay.
Oh,
Shout out
so
to the chat, man. Shout out to
chat.
all y'all in the chat. Everybody watching. Shout out to y'all.
This is yeah. So let's say rebuilding. Let me see. I heard about rebuilding. It's called rebuilding. What? Yeah. So yeah, I think Ivy is agreeing with me as far as being able to repair from someone cheating in a relationship. Um, I think that's the rebuilding. It happens, and I know some couples who've gotten over it and it was able to save their marriage and their relationship. But it takes work, and not every, and the reason why I think majority of the people that doesn't happen because no one wants to do the work. And the guy, a lot of times someone wants the person to get over it. They want to put a time limit on the healing. You should be done. It's been 2 years now. You should be done. You should not be mad about this anymore. You should, it happened 10 years ago. So they put a, yeah. So, but you don't, the person who offends, injure, or damage the person, you don't get a time, you don't get to put the time frame on someone's healing. There's no expiration on someone getting over
Agreed.
something. So you don't get to say, well, you should be over it by now.
I agree.
Can I tell this one little story
Yeah.
about that rebuilding? So it goes right along with this. So for instance, you have a little girl, you come home from work late at night, or you come home from work and your daughter, you know how the little girls or the kids run to you and say, daddy, 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 daddy's home, daddy's home. I don't know let's pretend if it don't, we know. But so daddy's home. And so you open the door not knowing your little 4-year-old daughter is at the door, and you hit her in her head, right? And so now you bumped her in her head, and she has this big hurt. She's bleeding. She has this big bump on her head. The first thing you're going to do is say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, right? You're going to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that, little Sally. I'm so sorry, daddy. And you're going to kiss her, and you're going to hug her. You're going to just, and Sally can come back next week. It can be healed up and everything. She's still gonna be pointing, look, daddy. And you're gonna pick her up and you'll be like, I know, I'm so sorry, baby. She can be 10 years old at her 5th grade graduation. And she could be like, Dad, you remember when you'd be like, oh, I know, I hurt you. I'm so sorry. You still feel so sad that you did that. At her college graduation speech, she's gonna be talking about, you remember, Dad, when I came in the house and you hit me in the head? You're gonna be like, I know, I'm so sorry. You're gonna still be talking about that injury, and you're gonna have almost the same concern and feelings that you had when it happened that day. That's the same thing a woman needs when a guy cheat on her. That she may come back 2 years later revisiting something. She saw the red car you was in. Every red car remind her of it, or every whatever, right? So if you had that same empathy and sympathy like you have for that 5-year-old child, even though now she's 28 years old, I think a lot of things, that's how I think people should look at when they hurt and injure somebody. That's what goes on. And if you can have that same compassion, I think you can get over things. And you're not rushing someone's healing.
I agree with you can get over some things. I just don't agree you can get over with everything. I just like some things I'm understanding. You can get over them, you can, heal, but it's just some things, I think you can damage a person and mentally damage them. And when you mentally damage a person, I feel like the relationship is over because you're
Yeah.
gonna be fighting with yourself and your mental, and that's not good. And it's okay. I feel like some people are scared to move on.
Mm,
They get stuck with one person and not understanding that there's millions of people in the world. So that person really might not be for you,
mm,
and I really think people need to really understand that is more people in the world, that person might not be for you. It might be somebody over there waiting for you that's going to love you the way you want to be loved, that's going to accept you, your flaws and all, and really not judge you, but embrace you and be loving to you. So, but I think we get stuck with certain people, and feel like because of our emotions that we can't move on. And I think
mm,
that's holding a lot of people back and keeping people in a lot of bad situations because they feel like they can't move on.
mm. Well, I think it should be like, I think it should be a balance, because I also think that people dispose of people real fast too. And so I think you shouldn't stay around and be mistreated for life. But I do think that we all are human. We all make mistakes. No one's perfect. And if we just get rid of every time someone does something wrong to us, then we, then what? We're just running around here.
I agree with that, but as one should know oneself, know when enough is enough. I think a
Yeah.
lot of times people hold on longer than they should. knowing enough
Mhm.
is enough. You know, if someone's continuing to do the same thing, you have to disconnect with that person. You know, some people get mistreated over and over again, and they still deal with the same person, accepting that they're being mistreated, thinking that they're going to be able to change this person. You can't change someone. You really have to accept someone for who they are. And if that person is showing you that they don't care about you and they really not considerate of your feelings, you got to just understand that and accept that and move on. And if you don't, you're going to hurt yourself. The other person's already stuck in their ways,
Yeah.
and you
I
can't
think
fix that.
Queen, I think Queen just said the most, that sometimes it's flaws. It's not a mistake. It's not that it's not a oopsie. It's a
Okay,
flaw
yeah.
in your
Whoa.
it's a it's a flaw in your character at this point.
Whoa, that oopsie. Whoa. Yeah, that gets me. I don't know about no damn oopsies. That wasn't no oopsie. That was a decision.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a flaw in character, right? That's what
Yeah.
you were saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, okay. Um, okay, so I want to talk these relay relationships that are happening. I want to get to some kind of some scenarios to figure out why men and or how men look at it and how women look at it. Okay, so one scenario is that you're on a date with a, let's just say you're on a date with a beautiful or handsome person. They come and they are dressed nice. The face card is great. Um, they know how to use their utensils, so they're using the correct utensils. They're not smacking. The conversation is great. And then you don't hear from them. And the date is wonderful. Everything was just great and lovely. Everybody just had a ball. And then you don't hear from them anymore. From a male's perspective, what's going on with that?
That person wasn't into you. You know, if it was the female or the male, the person wasn't into you. You know, the person has, their mind somewhere else. You know, because
Mhm.
someone could, date outside to take their mind off of something that they're used to, but they really might be into something they're used to. So that's where their heart is and that's where their focus is. So they had fun with you. They was able to enjoy a moment with you, but they went
That's all
back
it
home.
was.
Yeah, they went
Okay.
back home. Yeah.
They're- okay. So you were just a distraction kind of a situation.
Yeah, you was just a temporary moment to get away from what they were used to. But sometimes, people be needing that too. When they go outside and they have a moment with somebody and they enjoy the moment, when they go back home, they might treat their partner better. They calling their partner away. You need anything from the store? You want me to get this? The partner was like, man, you don't never ask me to bring Slurpees. You want me to get you a Slurpee? You want me to?
Slurpee is crazy. A
Yeah,
Slurpee is
listen.
crazy.
They
That's
want to do
crazy.
certain things. You want me to get a Slurpee? Yeah, I want you to bring. You want a Slurpee? I'm gonna bring a Slurpee home for you, baby. Yeah, it's crazy,
Mm,
you
mm,
know. So people do a lot of different things, and I think it's hard to really be able to pinpoint, certain things with people, but you gotta really observe who you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And people will show you who they are. It's about, do you see it?
yeah. I think we're just so like we're all about self to me these days. It's just so forget. So I may need to I need to get my mind off of Pookie. You need to get your mind off of Shaquita. And so we're using each other. And how fair is that? And my thing is, why can we not just get our mind off of Shaquita and Pookie by ourselves? Why do we have to go and involve someone else and cause that injury or that damage? Or, and of course, I'm not the one time going out on a date. I mean, I'm exaggerating here that I don't think it should cause that much pain and injury, but it could too. It could when a person doesn't understand. If you don't know that individual and that has happened to that individual maybe 10 times before, I keep doing this and I keep running into that. And now you're the 11th person. that guy or that female may not know that they're the 11th person, but when do we start caring? When do we start stepping out and stop just thinking about ourselves and maybe looking at the other person and finding out my behavior may cause some damage and injury to someone else? Or do we just not in this process, in this relay relationship stuff? We just take care of ourselves.
Some people are gonna think about others and some aren't. Like you could think about somebody else and care about them, and then what if they don't care about you? Whereas though you considerate of their feelings, but what if they're not considerate? So it's like you really don't know what you're getting into. You could be really like that type of person, like you saying, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings and I want to, build something and I want to be respectful. But the other person, they just like you're disposable to them because they
Yeah.
already got a roster,
Yeah.
they doing what they doing. So it's
Yeah.
like I think people are scared of that in today's world because there's so much going on social media. People are scared to put themselves and be vulnerable for other
Yeah.
people and then get hurt, because you can put your all into someone and really care about someone. And that crash, when someone really goes in the other direction totally
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and ghosts you, it hit different.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Hmm.
That shit hit different.
So, Mr. Rogers says, then you are changing who you are. And I agree. I think I guess everyone should be who they are, and you are going to have people who are going to care about other people, and you're going to have people who's going to just care about themselves, and then somebody may care about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I guess you have. I wouldn't dare try to. I mean, I don't know. I just think treating somebody the way you want to be treated is the way you should go. So I'm not going to accept a dinner from somebody that I really don't want to sit across the table from just to accept the dinner, or because I want to get somebody else off my mind. I just wish that we can get to a point in life that we are okay by ourselves, meaning I need to get this person off my mind so I don't have to go and damage someone else or involve someone else. I can go and have dinner by myself to get that person off my mind. Unless you're telling that person, I'm only going to dinner with you because I'm mad at Shaquita right now and I just going to have dinner with you, then that's one thing. But if you're not telling her or you're not telling him that, Pookie done got on your nerves, she done cut up all my clothes today and I'm just out here with you because, then I think that's not cool.
Yeah, but it's not the same. If you meet someone and you getting to know them and you want to go out with them, it's not the same for you to put that all on the table because what it lets the other person know is that you're damaged. You know what I'm saying? It really
Mm.
though. You sitting there thinking like, so now this whole date, you're gonna be analyzing the person's behavior because of that they're damaged. So you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to you listen, you might hang out with this person and you might like this person and this person might draw closer to you, but if you express that you're hanging out with this person because you're damaged, that's gonna play mental on the other person. You know what I mean? They're gonna be really, really looking at everything you do in detail. Now they're gonna judge you because they know you're here because you're damaged. It's not gonna be like just open and understanding, whereas though that we're hanging out and we're getting to know each other. Now you're a damaged person and you're using me to, get through whatever problems you having. So, and I
So,
think people be damaged, and do that, but you got to just deal with that situation and not express that because now the focus is on that.
hmm. But aren't they going to find out you're damaged anyway when?
Yeah, of course they're going to find out more about you and that you're damaged, but you don't want to lead with that. You got to get to know. That is one thing, I feel like with people too. You have to get to know that person before you really know, like things that they've been through. Because sometimes when you meet somebody they might have been through some things, but they come with a different, approach, and they have a different mindset because they've been through some things. But if you understand what they've been through, now you're gonna judge them off of what they've been through, and certain things will trigger you to make you say, "Well, I know why you're doing that because you've been through this." Instead of getting to know that person up front and understanding who that person is for who that person is showing you. You know what I'm saying? Who they are. So I feel like, it's not good to really express so much about the things that you are going through or been through when you're trying to change in a different direction. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta, because one thing I learned in life for real, is when you meet somebody, you're not gonna always handle the person you meet like somebody else you handled a certain way. This person might, really, gravitate to you. You might adore this person. So you can handle this person delicately and deal with them differently. Whereas though the other person, y'all had a lot of friction. It was arguing, bickering, so it could be different. So you gotta judge that person for how they deal with you and not for what they're going through or who else they used to deal with.
Yeah. So, but are you saying that you're okay to get someone representative first? Is that what you're saying? That
Yeah,
you rather have their representative before you get to know
yeah,
who they are? You rather have
yeah,
that?
yeah. I would rather have that because I want to see what you can be. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to. I don't want you to tell me about the past of all the drama at first, because if you let me see what you can be, you said a representative. Now, when you start telling me about the things you've been through and the certain things that happen in your life, I can see what you showed me, and then I can understand. Okay, now if you revert to this, then that's an issue that you got, and you can't move forward. Because some people can move forward, but they be stuck in situations with certain people, whereas though they keep doing the same thing over and over because of who they stuck with. They didn't have the opportunity to move on somebody else that was treating them better, that communicated with them better, that they enjoyed being around, because people be in relationship with people that they don't even like being around. And they deal
Just
with
to
the
be in a
people.
relationship.
Yeah. So, you can meet somebody else, even though you've been through a lot of stuff and you really enjoy being around this person. You adore this person. So the moments are more exciting. It's like laughter. Y'all can talk. So, I mean, it could be different.
So, men in the chat, do you think that you want to see? Would you say you want to see the woman's representative first before you see her? Put in the chat. I want to know. I want to know. I want to chat about it because me, female, and the women, I say, and I'm going to speak for us, but I want you guys to tell me if I'm wrong. I don't want to see a representative. I want to know who you are, and I'd rather know all the bad. I want to know all the bad because I always see someone. I always see great in. I can find something good in you anyway. The worst person I could find something good in. Like I've always been that way. Thank God. But I'd rather have all the bad stuff. And if I can deal with all the bad stuff, then I can deal with you. I don't want this fake person in front of me. Because the representative is fake, right? I'm putting on a show for you.
Nah, the representative might be the person that
Mm.
they're growing to be, you know,
When you
whereas
gonna get
though
there? When you getting there?
they there now. That's why they coming with the representative, but they still got some things in their past. They might have did some negative things growing in life, and those things might be attached to them. So you wanting to know them, you going to judge them from that. You're going to be looking at him like, oh, you did this and you did that, and them things are going to be on your mind. Now, it's some women that can deal with people that have a past and certain things that they've been through, because some women like to nurture, and they like to bring certain men that have those trauma situations back to life. So I think it could happen, and it could be like that with men too. You could meet somebody, a woman that been through something, and she's been abused in a relationship, and she's went through different things, and you want better for her. You want her to feel good. You want to treat her good because she's had a rough life or a rough relationship experience. So You know, it could be
So you having
either
some
way.
sympathy relationship?
I'm not saying sympathy, but when you care about someone, you want the best for them. You don't know what they've been through, and if they start telling you they've been through a lot, you want the best for them. You want to make sure that they're loved, and that they're nurtured, and you want to make sure that you're there for them, and somebody that they can talk to and express themselves.
Yeah. So Mr. Rogers says everyone comes to the altar with the good. So that's what meaning everybody comes and with their showing how wonderful they are. Like you said, I can cook, I can clean, and you go to her house and the floor, you can't walk on the floor because the floor is just dirty and the feet just filthy.
Panties on the bathroom floor and hair in the sink. You like, come on, man, don't do this to me.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
Don't do
this
that.
to me.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So everybody come all fresh. I'd rather you come show me all your bad. Show me tell me all the bad stuff first. Just tell it, get it out the way. Because you know why? Because if you tell me that, I cheated in the past or something like that, and you tell me now I've changed, I understand, and I can see that you really have worked through, you did some self-reflection, some self-healing, you worked on yourself, that's a plus to me. That doesn't give you that doesn't put you in a negative zone. It shows that you made some mistakes, you made the adjustments, and you have done the correction, and you're a better person. That's what I'm talking about. You don't have to come to me and be like, because I had someone say, I never cheated, I never did this. They just showed everything, and then later on, that was all negative. That was all a lie. I'd rather you have said, I've done all of this, but I've changed. I don't no longer do that. I'm doing this now. And now I get to watch you. And it's like, okay, it looks like you have changed, you walking like this, you talking like this.
What
But don't
about
come, go ahead.
what about the guy that is showing you he's a new person, and he's coming with a new personality and he's doing things different, and then after you get to know this person and you like the person you meet, but he tell you, now this is how I used to be, this is what I've been through. I think that's more better. I think it's more damaging when you lead with the negative things from your past that you have elevated from. I feel like you can express those things later on, but it's like bringing up old stuff. It's bringing bad energy to the front. That's what I think. Yeah, let the bad energy be in the back, and maybe periodically we might can have a conversation about some of the things I've been through, and some of the things I've done wrong, but you can already have the visual of how I am now and what I don't do. And you can tell, oh, yeah, I can tell you used to do that, but you're definitely different. I didn't see that out of you. You know what I'm saying? I like that instead of when you come to the forefront with the things that you've done in the past that's negative, you're looking for them. As a woman, you're going to be looking for them. Now, soon as dude do something, you like, oh yeah, he told me he did that. Yeah.
Mm,
Now you're gonna throw that in his face. Well, I know you've been through this, and I know you're trying to change. No, I don't want to have that conversation. I want
mm,
to have conversations about good things and the things I'm moving forward. Now, if we have a conversation about some of the things I've been through in the past, then you'll understand that I've fully developed and moved forward, and I've been delivered from certain things. So you'll understand and really look at it different from whereas though you're just looking for me to do these wrong things that I brought to the forefront. And it's like, I think that's a damaging situation to a relationship. But,
mm.
maybe
No, I
you
see
might
it.
look at it different.
No, I can see that in a way because I'm looking back and I'm going, I might have, but yeah, but I don't want you to come in the conversation has to we need to have that conversation sooner than later, I would say, because I may not want to deal with you if there's something in your background that you know, I may not want to deal with you. So we have to have that sooner than later.
See, but that's what I'm saying. See,
But at least you knock it out the way. I'm not spending 3 months and 4 months and 5 months with you. That's what I don't want to do. Time is so precious. I'm not trying to spend that time. So if I know all the bad and I know me and I know, oh, I can deal with that, I can deal with that, or that's what he did 5 years ago or something, not that every girl that I got with, this is, and that this is what I did. I need to know that sooner than later. Now, if it happened 5 years ago or something like that, okay, maybe not so much. But if it happens all the time. I need to know that sooner than later.
What about let's let the past be the past? Now, if it's something like some PDF shit, that's
Yeah,
different. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's
yeah.
different. You know what I'm
No,
saying? But
that might be a deal breaker for some people.
yeah, but I'm saying like, some relationship things and stuff like that. I think those things happen, but I don't think that, you should lead a relationship with negative energy. You should lead a relationship with positive. These are, you know, new ventures. This is a new situation. So let's not lead it with the negative, because if that's not you anymore, you've elevated and matured and grown from that. Why we want to go into that? You know what I'm saying? That should be something we sitting around in front of the fireplace. Man, in my past life, baby, I did this, that, and the third, and I was wild, and you sitting there like, I don't see that in you. Yeah, because I'm not that person anymore. It was a dark time in my life.
That's
I was
that
going
pimping
through
stuff.
some
That's that
things,
pimping. That's
and
that pimping stuff.
that's the mature gentleman that
I
has
kind of I kind of like that.
developed.
Okay,
Yeah.
you might have changed my view a little bit on it. A little bit.
Yeah.
A
And
little bit.
listen, I hope it does, because you got to be open minded, and you don't want to lead with the negative. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to tell me about your negative. I'm sure everybody has some negative things. I don't want to hear about you was on your Jasmine Sullivan shit and you bust the windows out the car. Now I'm sitting thinking like, soon as she get mad, she might bust my damn windows. I don't want to hear that. I don't even want that at the front of my mind.
But you do want to know if she busted a window out or two.
Tell me in front of the fireplace when we sitting there, having a moment, man. I busted. Oh, damn, baby, you was wild then, wasn't you? Yeah. Don't tell me up front. Listen, I get mad, I bust your window. God damn. I'm thinking you might get upset. You might ready to bust a window. I'm sitting there thinking now, you might get upset and ready to bust my damn window. I ain't even do nothing. Just
That's
because you thought I did something.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we
Mm.
gotta let's leave the negative, talk for the moments that we want to talk about them. I don't think you should lead with negativity. It should be all about positivity, smiling. How we gonna enjoy each other? Can we take a walk and enjoy the sunset and enjoy the moment?
Yeah, well, we have to get to that point because with these relay relationships that we're having nowadays, you're talking, you can be talking to someone for a few months and then someone which is straight, you don't hear from them anymore. The conversation's been great, you guys been communicating well, and then all of a sudden, no more contact.
They found a boo. You know what it is.
Found a boo.
If someone is around you and they dealing with you and they disappear, they found a boo.
Okay,
Straight
so
up.
how would you handle this? So that happens. They found a, or we don't know what happened, but something
They
happened.
found a
But
boo.
they found a boo. Okay.
All right.
What happens if they want? So okay, so this is what I'm hearing with these relationships. So you talking to a person, things are going great, and then they disappear, and then maybe like 6 months later they reappear again. How would you handle it
As a
as a
man,
man? Yes,
I'm gonna be honest.
yes. Please do get undressed.
Yeah, I'm butt naked. You hear me? As a man, right? Just being real. If I was dealing with someone and they just disappeared, I think it's a lot easier for a man to, you know, maybe deal with them for bedroom purposes. If they
Um,
reappear, then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna hang out, I'm gonna have fun. We can go get something to eat, and we can have bedroom fun, right? It's
Bedroom
cool.
noises.
Bedroom noises. Yeah, we can bedroom noises. We can have fun, because I've been thinking about you. You ran off. You had this guy you was in love with, because I know that's what happened. When you run off like that, you fell in love with this guy. He
Maybe.
really, yeah. I don't know. It could be a woman too, but you ran off and you're in this relationship somewhere, and you pop back up, and as a guy, you're gonna probably deal with the woman, for those purposes, but you get some emotional guys that they want to act like the female. They don't want to talk to you. Nah, not me. I'm gonna be like, hey, how you been? Where you been? I want to talk to you. It's gonna excite me. You know what I mean? That's just
You want to
me.
get even. You're looking to get
No, no, I want to hang out with you. It's gonna be like brand new again. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't really get, some guys get more emotional. They get,
but you're not looking to build something with her. You said that. You said you're not going to
but
be going in it to build something with her.
that's if you ran off for me, you better know I'm not looking to build when you come back, because I already know you'll run again. Why would I put myself in a situation to start this process, and we might put it all together and I wake up and everything's gone? I'm looking for your bags, you and everything else, and you done left again, and now you done changed your phone number, or you done put me on block. Nah, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna enjoy the moment,
So
but
are you going to share that that's where it is? Or are you just going to not you're not going to tell the female that?
am I gonna tell her that I know she ran off with
No, are
another
you
man?
going to tell her that you're not interested in going any farther, but just bedroom noises?
It depends. It depends on the woman. It depends on what type of woman she is. If she's the type of woman where I can say that, but you got some women you can't say that. You know, she
Mm.
might want to be mentally played with and act like she's running back to you because she wants to be with you. And as a man, a lot of men got, good judgment, especially men that, have themselves together. Now, and the ones that don't have themselves together, they might not. But I think
Mhm.
men that have themselves together and, are self sufficient, they're going to be able to see if she's just coming back, for the reason that, she wants to get some attention and some love because maybe the situation didn't work where she was at. So, guys might just deal with it accordingly. But, you got some guys that are simps, and they gonna, just open arms. Yeah, my love of the life, she's back.
Yeah.
And whenever she runs off again, now he's sitting there with his Johnson in his hand. Damn, she left me again.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So for a woman, because that can happen as well for women, right? Somebody can call you, haven't spoke to you in 6 months or so, and then they all of a sudden come back, like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I think this is where women possibly make their mistake, and they may entertain it. Where you're saying guys may not entertain it, or if they're going to entertain it, it's for sure it's not going to be anything serious. I'll put it like that.
Now, it depends on the guy though. You got some guys they like that. You know what I'm saying? They sweet. It's some guys that's just sweet like that. The women can run all over them. There's guys out there like that. There's plenty of them. I ain't gonna lie. The woman pop back up, he act like she never left. But you know what I mean. But myself, nah, I'm gonna play it accordingly. And I really think you have to have that experience to be able to understand that. If you ain't got that experience, or if you feel like, you're not you know, the type of guy that's able to meet different women and, you know, do your thing as a man, then of course you're gonna be the type of guy that fall for
Maybe
that.
accept it
Because
back. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you feel like this all you can get. And some guys, they might meet something that's pretty, or maybe if she's not pretty, but she's nice, and this is all he thinks he can get. So she can leave and come when she went to. She want to go run off with a man for a year. When she come out, he's accepting it because that's all he feel like he can get. But if you got confidence in yourself as a human, as a man, I don't think you're gonna just accept that.
Mm. And women should do the same then, right? You would think that should be
Of
their model
course,
too. If
of course.
someone just just having just MIA gone, and then all of a sudden 6 months or a year later, they're like, "Hey, we should go have lunch."
I mean, if you want to play with that guy, play with him. Because some women, some women got in their mind, listen, I want to play right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go out, have a good time. If you want to hump on a guy, that's up to you. If not, hey, listen, I'm not gonna hump on him at all, but I'm just gonna go here and have these moments. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So I think that's, a judgment call. Do you feel like that's what you want to do? And I mean, some women can't handle it because they might feel like they're gonna fall for the guy, and they start thinking about the old times, and because I've been in that situation before too. Whereas though, I went away and I came back, and and then they weren't the same because they were so emotional that I disappeared. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So they couldn't handle it. Oh, you left and go back to this person. Well, listen, let's not talk about that. We talk about what we doing right now.
You
Can
don't
we
ever
enjoy
want
this
to.
moment?
You don't ever want to talk about that stuff.
Nah, I want to talk about what we doing now. Why are you so invested in then? Let's talk about now. So some people get emotional, and you just don't know. Them emotions get to flying.
I'm trying to see how we can help with not having so many relay relationships. But I'm hearing that. I don't think that's is it. I don't know how I feel. I feel like should we be telling each other, I'm not interested in you anymore, or should we just leave and not? And I'm not talking about the one date kind of a situation. I'm talking about you've been dating someone for quite some time. I say like 3 months, 2 to 3, 4 months or so. You've been dating someone, talking to them, and then all of a sudden things should you tell that person, I'm no longer interested in you, or should you just ghost them? So they're used to having they used to you calling in the morning, saying hi. They used to whatever the routine is. No longer is that routine happening anymore, and they're just gone.
I think you should tell a person, but everybody is not that strong. Some people,
Yeah.
they can't look someone in the eyes and be honest with them. You
Queen
know,
Jessica says, yes, communicate with them. And I
yeah.
think that is the problem that's happening, the lack of communication that's going on. And that's what I'm saying. When are we responsible for other people? Are we just responsible for ourselves?
I mean, we're responsible for ourselves, but you got some people that are just genuinely nice, and they care about others' feelings. But we are responsible for ourselves and to make
Mm,
judgment calls for ourselves. But you got some people that are genuine, and they might care about and be considerate for other people's feelings. So they're able to, let a person know, listen, man, this ain't gonna work, and I'm looking at something different, and I like you, and now you got some people that they just gonna ride the wave. They
hmm
gonna ride the wave until the wave flatten out. Hey, it just didn't work. And I don't know. It just depends. You know, you
I
don't
have a
know.
question for you.
Yeah.
Say, for instance, you and I was on the phone. I just met you, and
Mhm.
I was on the phone with you, and I knew the first 5 minutes it was a no go. I knew that. Like within 5 minutes, I knew, But I spent another hour and a half to 2 hours on the phone with you. And then the next day, I tell you, I'm sorry, I'm not really interested in pursuing it any longer. Are you mad at me, or do you understand? I knew the
Okay.
first 5 minutes of the conversation, it was a no go.
Okay. I think somebody that hasn't experienced that from the beginning, it'll shake them a little bit. You know, Whereas though they might be like, man, what is it? What happened? Because they might have felt like it was gonna go somewhere, right? But I think over time experiencing people, you understand those type of things happen, because you can have a conversation with someone and they could be turned off but still have a conversation with you, and then after they go sit to themselves, they think about something that they might have been through with somebody else, and they like, man, I see a resemblance here. Nah, I don't even want to go back down that path. So as a man, you got to accept it. I feel like some men can't accept rejection, right?
Mm,
Some can't, but I think when experience some, you understand that this come with being a man. You're gonna have some women that don't like you and some that do like you. And you gotta accept the rejection. And I feel like, some men just can't accept it. So some men are gonna be mad. But the
mm-hmm.
ones that understand it, like, okay, this one didn't work out. It's okay. And you
Yeah.
get them crazies when they feel like they can't accept the rejection, they just do crazy shit. It's like, bro, it's all right. There's another woman out there for you. Let
Mm-hmm.
that one
Mm-hmm.
go. It's okay.
So Mr. Rogers says sounds like high expectations. I don't know on what part. Explain more so I can understand that comment. I think that it's just so I think it's so hard for you could do one thing for somebody and that will be fine, and then somebody else expects you to do something else, and another person expects you to do something else. So it's really hard. Some people will say in the first 5 minutes you knew that you did not like the person, you should have ended the conversation. You shouldn't have spent that extra hour and a half to 2 hours on the phone with somebody, right? Of course, this is the first time meeting, so it's no connection or no anything, but that person felt some kind of way that you spent that much time with me and you're saying that you don't want to continue.
Yeah, that
That's
is crazy.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but listen, it's a lot of women like that though. Yeah, it's like you're satisfying, you know, her for that moment in the conversation. She just wants to have the dialogue, but she knows she's not going anywhere with it. And
Yeah.
then, what would be crazy with that is you got the women that do that and then they fall for a sucker.
Oh,
It's
why
like,
would you do that?
yeah, yeah, it's like you might this guy
Okay.
might have been somebody that you really could have had a good time with, you could have enjoyed yourself with, but then the other guy that's selling you the dream that's able to, mentally captivate your brain, it's like you fall for it, but they really don't have any good intentions for you. So
Yeah.
I think that fast judgment, it could be bad sometimes, and it might could be good too. So,
Mm,
it depends. It's up in the air.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just trying to see how we could go from but I think it's just everybody's so different. It's going to be just hard for you to really try. I think it's just being the best person you can be. I learned early that if you spend time on the phone with someone, you just have to I learned early that you just have to be careful of people because you give them too much time, they may feel some kind of way. you
Yeah,
know and
I
and i and
agree.
i feel kind of in a way, kind of not like super responsible, because I think we all should be responsible for ourselves. We all have to take care of ourselves. We shouldn't expect somebody to take care of us. But just don't know, somebody else may appreciate, oh, you talk to me even though you're not interested, you talk to me for an hour and a half, that's cool. You just don't know. you know
Yeah,
you just don't know. You see
yeah,
a
I
comment,
agree.
anything?
I was just looking, I was
Okay.
just looking at it. Yeah, I mean, you don't know, but somebody might be for you. But I think that 5 minutes thing with the women, it could be up in the air. Because some women, they jump to judgment because they hear something from, you know, uh, their past, somebody
Mm,
that they dealt with. They might see something that resembles something that they've been through. And I think some women be jumping to conclusions with that. Yeah.
mm,
What I'm saying, because
mm-hmm,
I've had that happen to me before. Whereas though someone, that I met and communicated with, not, my type, right? And come to find out, this person here, had issues going on with themselves. They had the baby dad sleeping on the couch. You
mm.
know what I'm saying? I'm like, I would have been saying you just not my type, but you said I'm not your type for whatever reason. I'm like, how you think I'm gonna be able to be dealing with you when you got the child's father sleeping on your couch? Like, that's not gonna work for me. But I've had that happen though.
So you think, so you saying she jumped the gun, trying
Yes,
to first. She jumped it. She jumped the
Yeah,
gun. She got.
jumped the gun from the door. And she told me though, like, nah, I don't think it's gonna work out, and
Mm.
you're not my type. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. But that I'm sitting there, she done told me about the baby dad on the couch. I didn't jump the gun and say that on it. I'm saying that to myself, like, oh, this ain't gonna work. You got. I said, where he stay at? He sleep with me at the house on the couch. Oh man,
Don't do
like
that.
that let me know what type of woman you are. So I'm like, nah, but you know,
But you were going to hang
crazy.
out. You were still going to. You were going to see if it worked. You still was
Nah, I
going.
wasn't gonna see if it was gonna work. I was gonna have some enjoying moments. You know what I'm saying? But that was about it. But she told me that I wasn't her type, and I'm like, okay, but you already done told me that the baby dad on the couch. I'm like, come on.
Well, she was kind of correct, right? If that's something that's not your cup of tea, so she knew that you wouldn't probably be the one for her. So she kind of was telling the truth. You took it
Listen,
as
she
a
did me a
negative in
favor.
a way. If she was dealing with men like that, and you're not that kind of type, then I could see why she would.
Yeah, she did me a favor. Yes, she
Yeah,
did. Yeah,
yeah,
save me all the headache.
yeah, yeah. So that worked out.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because you know what I've heard men who have went on. I just, these men who have talking about moving too fast. You go on these dates with a woman, go go meet her, and all of a sudden you pull up and she looks something different, and so men have like drove away. I heard that. They
I've done that.
drove away. They went back in their car. They left the scene. They went in the
I've done
bathroom.
that.
Never came out.
I've done that. That's a fact. I've done that. Yes, pulled up. Oh, yo, I forgot something. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Never
Don't go
answer the
nowhere.
phone again.
Don't go nowhere. It's crazy. And
Don't
when
go
you about to
nowhere.
go somewhere.
Yeah, don't go nowhere and never answer the phone again. You know? And then I'm everything under the sun after that. I'm just reading the text messages. I ain't doing no responding. Yeah, I said, oh, yeah. Yeah, that didn't happen now. I ain't gonna lie.
That doesn't help with these relationships. That adds to it, I think.
And then we didn't get to go too far. I got right there. I seen it was a mistake. Hold up. Listen, I met her at night. That's what happened. I met her at night. I go through in the daytime. Hold up. Oh, shit. Yeah. Damn. Don't get me like that.
That's why I get there first and watch her walk up.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. You get there and get crazy. Hey, hold up. Let me grab some. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. I want to
So,
tell her don't. She's at home, and I want to tell her don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. Right back. You hear me? Don't go nowhere. Yeah. I think you frozen too. Got you smiling. Yeah, man. But you know, in life, we experience a lot of different things, man.
sorry, I froze. Would say that
Yeah.
again?
Yeah, I said in life we experience a lot of different things, you know. Yeah, you,
Yeah.
you never know what you're gonna come across.
That's funny. I think if men, I would say this, talking to a woman over the phone, not just one time, but a few times, and then doing a FaceTime or a video chat, that would
Mhm.
eliminate you. Because I'm trying to see how we can stop hurting each other, you know? And if I pulled up to a date, if I pulled up, got dressed, put my makeup on, got my hair together, got my nails done, went and got a little cute outfit and everything, right? Just everything, and then you pull up and then you pull away, that's gonna hurt my heart.
But it hurt. What about it hurt the man heart when he get to see that you was, catfishing. You was looking different at night. I got to see you in the daytime. Oh
So
man,
that's
maybe
why
I
I'm
had a little
saying,
too
so let
much
me
to
help.
drink. I had a little too much to drink. I'm on the dance floor. I'm doing my thing on the dance floor, right? And I thought, I got one. Yeah, I got something nice. And I pull up. Man, this ain't the same person I met last night. I wasn't that drunk. Uh-uh.
So why not do like a FaceTime or a video chat first?
I mean, that can happen
The
though.
Shrek effect. Why not? I just think we move so fast. We talked about that earlier. Let's slow it down. And then, because I'm just thinking, how can we not, how can we stop hurting each other? That's all.
I'm, I don't think that that's ever gonna stop. You know, us as
That'd be so
people.
mean.
I know it's bad, right? I don't think it's ever gonna stop with people hurting each other. I just think that people can make better choices on the people that they deal with. But I don't think it's ever gonna just stop, because you're dealing with different people's minds, and the mind of a human, can be positive and it can be negative. So,
Hmm.
you just don't know what you're dealing with, and some people be going through things and they look towards to hurt other people. I feel like
Yeah.
you
Thank you
got to get to know
purposely.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people don't know themselves. I don't care, how old you are. Some people just never get to know who they are,
No.
and they're out here, using other people to try to make them feel better for whatever reason, but they don't know who they are. And I feel like you got to take that time to yourself to get to know who you are, so you can understand what you like, what you don't like, what you want to be around, what you don't want to be around, and what type of people that you plan on not dealing with, and we plan on type of people you to deal with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So getting to know
Yeah.
yourself is big.
Yeah. And I think that'll stop the bouncing from one relationship to the next relationship to some people have they go from one they go from one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship.
Yes.
Some people could be in 2 or 3 relationships in 1 year.
Yeah.
And I just
Looking
like,
for love.
whoa, yeah.
Looking for
Like,
love. They think somebody else has to satisfy, their internal feelings for them to be whole.
mm-hmm.
So they don't want to take the time, to make sure that they're comfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
important.
that's that relay relationship I'm talking about. It's just you just handing the baton off to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. Like, wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
And all you do is you know hurt the other person, because you might be somebody that's genuine,
Yeah.
and you end up hurting this person. But then I think, like, people that is moving around like that, they really don't care. You know what I mean? It's like they don't care because maybe they've been hurt, because if
Mm-hmm.
you've been hurt, you're really not caring
You
about,
don't hear.
yeah, you caring about protecting yourself. What makes
Mm-hmm.
you feel better because you've been hurt. So it's like you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to experience that, because those them hurt situations, they hit different.
No, they
I'm
hurt.
sure. Yeah, yes, men know this and
Yeah.
women know this.
Yeah.
You hear me? Yeah,
Yeah.
they had you looking for somebody in the daytime with a flashlight. How can
Yeah.
we work this out? Can
Yeah.
we please? I love you.
Mm-hmm.
It get real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then those the being in that dark space by yourself trying to figure it out that's hard too. But it's so worth it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's so worth it. It's so better than doing the relay baton, passing the baton, or just using people or ghosting people. Just sitting by yourself and really going through that hurt, dealing with that hurt. I think is so much worth it than to try to um, disguise it.
yeah. Because I feel nobody is gonna be able to really make you feel better. It's only gonna put a band-aid on it.
Yeah.
So if you going through something, that you was hurt and you try to latch on to somebody else, you just putting a band-aid on it. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up disrupting that person's life because you already going through it and you just trying to figure out how to get this band-aid on here tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Real shit.
Mhm. That's real. Yeah.
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 So as a man, you gotta take that time to yourself. And as a woman, you gotta take that time to yourself. If things ain't work out with another situation, it just ain't gonna work jumping to another situation.
Do you think men do that? Do you think men take the time
I think
and
some do. I
some?
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have. You know, like
So it happens. Men
yeah,
do it happen? Okay.
yeah. I've done it both ways though. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've done where as though I jumped into another situation and to like make me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done where as though being to myself because when you going through those situations in a relationship and you sitting by yourself, you think about it more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You sit there and
Yeah.
you really harp on it over and over and over again, and it really like mentally plays on you. So sometimes you want to just go do certain things so that it can take your mind away from it. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
though,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, you might need to self-reflect and understand yourself
Yeah.
instead of doing that because you're just using another person to try to take you out of that space, and it could be bad for the other person because you really concerned about how you feel and what you going through.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about. When do we take care of other people and not just ourselves? Like, you can be alone doesn't mean you have to be lonely. You can be alone to deal with those before you get involved in another situation, but guess you have to figure it out and do what's best for you. But I don't know. I just
Yeah.
think it doesn't. You just find yourself in relay kind of relationships, just these short term relationships. So now you're in another relationship. Now you're in another relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's a lot of that going on. The social media. When you get on your phone and scroll, you get to seeing stuff. Instagram, their camera on Instagram is wild. When you look at the women on Instagram, you might see them in person, they look totally different. But the Instagram photos, you
Uh,
know, they they definitely had you stuck looking. So, and I'm sure women see men on Instagram flashing money and
yeah, I would say
living
that
a
would be the
nice
opposite of
lifestyle.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, so I feel like the social media, it definitely had you somewhere else. So you got to be strong and get in tune with yourself. Whereas though you can be on there and get outside of yourself to try to suppress some shit that you're going through.
yeah. Hmm.
Facts.
That's facts. That's good. Let me
Yeah,
see if there's anything in the comments. Mr. Roger says, "Don't count out the people that's in survival mode."
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Survival mode is no joke. If you're in survival mode, that can look like anything. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. That can look like,
Survival mode get real.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Got to stay away. Don't do that. Don't do survival mode.
yeah.
Let's see. Anything else you want to add to this? I was just thinking, let me look at some notes I had here.
Let me see here. Let me see. Uh, let's see what we can ask you about women.
we're
Yeah.
e-
Um,
we're easy.
that's what you say. Why do women always feel like the grass is greener on the other side?
Hmm. Because sometimes there's no kidding. I think we all do, right? Men and women, we think the grass is greener on the other side. I think women, um, I truly believe women deal with things much longer. So it looks like the grass that we're looking at, the grass is greener on the other side, but that's because we have dealt with a lot of stuff from that one individual for a long time. So I want to go over here and see what else what's going on over here because I have stayed in it for this long. I've dealt with this. I've done this. I've tried this. I've asked for you to stop doing this, and you still do it. So I don't know if it's about maybe I just want to go get another whole patch of grass at this point. I don't care about. I'm just trying to find some new grass at this point.
Okay, so you don't care if the grass is tainted. You just looking for some new grass, hoping that it's good grass.
Yeah, because I've done this grass and it's no repairing it. You know, they say you could just go water the grass. No, sometimes you can't water the grass over there no more. Grass
Okay,
is just is grass is gone. Ivy say you
okay.
two together are amazing. Love the flow of this things, Ivy. Oh, they say they will date anything. Are you saying women? What? These women will date anything?
I guess like sometimes when women are vulnerable, they will latch on to anything. And it's true. It's like, she'll have all these standards, at one point, and then when things are going wrong in a relationship, it's like the standards just drop. And now you
Hmm.
like, damn, that's what you're going for? You
Hmm.
know? And then get over there and the grass is brown. It's like, the grass that had a lot of sun on it.
So can you tell me? So are you speaking of the female that the reason why she was that the person that she was dealing with was that a quality man, or she wasn't dealing with a quality man, and then her but her standards were after that had all these high standards, or she always had all these hand standards and was dealing with a guy with those high standards that messed her over.
Say that one more time for me.
I want to know if the woman that has the high standards that you're speaking of,
Hmm.
was she dealing with someone of quality?
She could have been dealing with somebody of quality, yeah.
Okay, and then now she has these high standards, but then then she'll start messing with somebody that
Yeah.
doesn't have any of those
Yeah,
qualities.
she just looking for love now. She don't care about
Mm.
none of the quality, nothing. She just wants to be embraced and loved.
Mm.
Yeah, so she think the grass is greener over there.
No, I don't think
She,
she think. I don't think that's the thought process. I think the thought process is that she wants to have a relationship. She wants to be in a relationship, and she has not found someone of her that has all those qualities. So therefore, she thinks that she can build and develop a guy that would maybe get to the quality and standards that she wants, because she's tired, and she's just she's tired of being by herself possibly. And that's the sad, to me that's sad, that
okay,
somebody would give up that fast, because to me you're giving up on yourself, and you'd
okay,
rather settle than to deal with being alone.
okay,
If she's probably moved from alone to being lonely now, because that's two steps, right? You could be alone, and then you could be lonely.
mm,
Queen
okay,
just said, "No, I'll leave a bum. I'm not looking to find another." Mm,
okay.
mm,
All right, yeah, that sounds
mm.
good. Don't listen. Don't get caught out there because it can happen. You in a situation and you're trying to get away from that situation and you get caught out there and then you're saying I love them.
I see more men. Correct me if I'm wrong. I see more men where they will go. Seem like women date up and not date down, and men will date down and not up.
Ah. I think some women they want to just be loved. It can happen now. I think some women can date up, but I think when a woman going through something in a relationship, they just want the guy that's going to be there. That's going to listen.
Yeah.
They want the guy that's going to listen. He might not, have the same status of the other guy, but they want
Hmm.
somebody to listen. Somebody that's going to hold their hand. Somebody that's going to, take her to the movies and, do certain things that maybe the other guy wasn't doing. It might not have to have a lot, but is this person going to be there?
Well, see, so to me she's not her quality. Her focus has changed. what now she's looking at a different set of standards. So she's getting what she need, what she might have was getting what she thought she needed, but now she's realizing what she really needs is that person that will hold her hand and listen to her and all the things you just said, right? So now she's moving into a different kind of standards now. So I wouldn't say that's that I think that she's just found that those things are more important than the other things that she had with this other bum, as Jessica would say.
Mm. Is it hard for a woman to be in a relationship but wanting to leave the relationship but have another relationship?
So she's in a relationship, but she needs to want to leave, but
She's got two people.
uh-huh.
She got this guy that, she really loves, but the relationship
It's
isn't
over.
working so good. But she met another guy that she's into, and this guy over here, he's bread and butter. He's taking care of the responsibilities, but this
Mm-hmm.
guy here, you know, soothes her mentally. And
Mm-hmm.
it's women that do this now. You know what I'm talking about. But they act like they not doing it, but they do it, and they act like nobody's supposed to understand it. But tell me about that. How do you feel about the women that do that?
No different than a man. I'm just kidding. We're here to learn. We're here to learn, not bash. I won't bash. Um,
Okay.
I so she's in a situation, right? That because I think with women we like you know this is familiar. So that relationship she's been in that's not, she's not happy about. She knows him. She's very familiar with him. The other guy, he's fun and new. Anything new is exciting, right? Anything new.
But is that something that is accepted? Do you look, as a woman, do you look down on that, or you say, man, she was going through something, that guy wasn't right for her, but she loved him, it was okay for her to do it? Do you look down on that, or do you accept that?
I don't look down on it. If I had a friend, I would encourage her not to. And I've had this situation happen. I had a friend, I'm not going to name her name because she could be on here, that she was actually with in my opinion, a really, really great guy. But they were having their problems and she met another guy and she was having a lot of real fun with this guy. And I said, hey girl, like that's cool you having fun with him, but this is, you have history with this guy. You got, you have, this is, he loves you, he cares for you. And the guy really did care for her and really did love her. I'm like, you're gonna mess up this whole situation if he finds out about homeboy. And this guy was a younger guy, probably was not going to be a guy that she was going to probably, have a future with. And it's like you jeopardizing this whole relationship over here. So I was advising that don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
I don't think it's cute.
Okay.
I don't think it's cute. I would say, if anything, go ahead and end that one if you want to play over here with this one.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Even if I don't know. I just really believe in treating people the way you want to be treated. I'm serious. I'm so serious. So
That's
that's
a
never okay. And I don't want you to play in my face. Like, I don't want you to do that to him.
that's a great way to be. You want to be treated, how you treat others. Some
So
people
I'm
don't care.
curious. I'm curious about a man. Would you give your partner that same, your homeboy that same advice, or would you be high fiving him that he got Shaquita at home and little Sally over here?
As a man,
You high
oh
fiving?
man, as a man, just being honest, it depend on the type of woman that he has. Because he might have a woman that been out there. He might love her, but you know, he feel like he want to step out now. But if he got a good woman, I would definitely let him know, like, bro, you gonna mess that one up, bro. You might have to take a look at it. But I don't really want to be too far in his business like that, because I notice when you are in people's business like that and you try to give them advice, they end up turning on you.
It can go bad.
Yeah, it's like, yo, all I was trying to do is tell you, bro, that now you want my girl. Now it's like you think I want the girl now. I'm just trying to tell you that she was good, and I don't think you should mess that one up.
Yeah, it could go. It could go that way with the female as well. You have to be there. You're not giving that just to anybody at all. You have to
Yeah,
be careful who
yeah,
you doing this with. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I don't want to mess up nothing. You know what I'm saying? They be mad at me. I'm talking about, nah, don't be mad at me. You know, I'm just trying to give you some good advice.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
You have
People
to
get upset, boy, boy,
get
boy.
pissed.
Yeah, and turn it
Yeah.
on you. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. But I do think that a lot of people are, um, I mean, I would for sure try to advise my friend to do the right thing. Like for real, especially if I see that she has a good thing and they're just go because every relationship have a season that you go through. It's a
Mm-hmm.
season that you go through, and so you have to be careful because it's just you might just be in a season, and I don't want anybody to mess up a whole relationship over a season.
Yeah. Because that
That
can
would be
happen
good. Yeah, and it does happen. It does
quick.
happen.
Mess the
Yeah.
whole thing up.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Everything.
Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Life experiences.
Yeah. Crazy. We all just trying to figure it out.
That's all. We just trying to figure it out one day at a time. Yeah. But we gotta learn from the mistakes though. I think some people don't even be learning from their mistakes. They be doing the same thing over and over again. It's like you did that already. You thought something different was gonna happen doing the same thing because it was with a different person. Nah, sometimes you
Mhm.
gotta go at it different. And also one thing, you can't treat someone else you meet like you treated the last person because they're different people. And I think, some people they meet new people but try to treat the new people that they meet like they treated the old person, and it causes friction. You got to
Mhm.
treat that person accordingly because that person, desires a different type of attention. And
Exactly.
you have to definitely know what you're dealing with.
Amen. And I'm gonna add to that. I'm gonna say, and don't treat me the way you want to be treated either. You have
Okay.
that, right? So
Yeah.
you like your head rubbed, and I don't want you touching my head. You
Okay.
have to get to know me, and I think we spoke about that once before that like you can bring me flowers and all this, but I may not want that. So stop bringing, don't do that. Don't do that.
Correct.
Stop
Correct.
that. It's just, get to know me. Are these people who they see you on social media and they think they know who you are? Get to know me. Don't think you know me because you see something. Because
Mm,
you just, I think we're going around and because Sally likes this, you think I like that. Becky, Pookie like that, so you like that. No, get to know me and ask questions. The only way we can know things about people if we ask questions. We
I
just
agree.
we get big and grown and we get educated and we get degrees and we think we know everything. You don't. I know me better than anybody know me.
I
Ask me
agree.
the question. Ask you the question. I have to ask you if I want to know. I have to ask you. I can't just assume.
I agree.
So that's happening too. And I think that is contributing to a lot of these relay relationships. People are like, I'm out of here. You think you know me? You don't know me.
I'm
And you don't
gone.
care. You don't even care to get to know me. You're just putting me in this category with everybody else. And no, I want you to get to know me.
Facts.
Know me.
Facts.
Crazy. Come on, 50 Cent, 21 questions. Yeah, we probably should get that. Ah, you ask me 21 questions. Like, don't do that. I don't
Yeah.
like that. That irritates my nerves.
Mm.
So yeah, anything else? I'm gonna try to. My phone is about to go dead pretty soon here.
But what I was about to go get a charger. This charger I got it on. My shit that went down to 4%. I'm like, hold up. Why? I mean, my thing been going down for the last hour.
Yeah, yeah, because I think this StreamYard use a lot of, I don't know, but
Lose a lot
yeah,
of juice.
it use a lot because I'm going down. I'm looking like, oh, geez. But we've been on here for a minute too, though. We have been on here for a little bit. So
Yeah.
you want anything to add? Tonight we talked about internet pimping that leads to relay relationships.
Um,
Anything?
I think
Takeaway?
we had a great conversation. You know what I mean? And I think that the dialogue is open and it's like fluent. So yeah, what I mean, I don't mind, having these type of conversations. You already
Hmm.
know. You know what I'm
I know.
saying? Yeah. I I talk all the time anyway. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, how about you okay, what Ivy said, bring Deezy back for a second show. Y'all flow perfect. Oh, Ivy, so sweet. Yes, him and I, we have many conversations about relationships. And he, like I said, he brings me up on his platform. You want to plug your platform?
yeah, yep. Yeah, I'm on YouTube and all platforms, SBGB TV, and I do a live call-in show, and I go live every night. So I appreciate Jameka having me up here, and yeah, great conversation. And she already know. She asked me to come, I'm gonna come through. So and
Yeah.
I do this shit off the top of my head, so she know I'm real like fluent with this. I don't need no script. I'm just going straight raw,
You get undressed with it.
butt naked. You hear me?
Booty Nikki.
Birthday suit, back.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, he talks. He has a platform that covers current events and also relationships, and then we cover trials and things like that.
Yeah,
So tap in. It's SBGB TV on all platforms. You tap in. You may see me on there too one day, sometimes from
yeah,
time to time too. So tap in, and we talk about it on there too. It gets real. It gets real over there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody that showed up tonight for me. I really, truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you for being patient with me while I try to get used to all these platforms and trying to do all these adjustments. I truly, truly appreciate you. Appreciate the ones who, my day ones, and then my new friends that have joined us. I thank you for just coming and participating in the chat and just being here to show your support. Thank you, Deezy, for showing up for me tonight. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you, and I'm always thankful and grateful for our conversations that we have on and offline. We just bounce things off each other all the time. So I'm thankful for your time and energy tonight.
I appreciate you having me. Shout out to the chat, and all y'all that rock with Jameka Bedroom Noise. And yeah, man, your boy Deezy, I appreciate you having me.
Yes. So thank you for getting undressed with me and chatting with me. I appreciate it. Come back next week. We're going to do this again. We're going to have another fun topic. We may have a threesome or a foursome next month or next week. Who
Okay.
knows? Never know. DZ, are you willing to come back to get undressed with us?
Yeah, I'm coming back. And listen, if you have more people, I'm with it.
Yeah, you down. I appreciate that. So, a grown and sexy, intimate relationship chatter podcast with your very own Jameka. Next week, we'll have another co-host. It could be Deezy. It could be we don't. I don't even know. We don't know yet, but it will be another male because I love the male and female energy. So, we will have another co-host up with us next weekend. Um, until then, we'll see you. Thanks again for joining us.